Hey everyone, it's Sonia. Welcome back to my channel. So, what is it about K-pop idols that pulls some of us in so deeply? It's more than just the music for sure. It's the fantasy, the perfect personas, the looks, the visuals, and the emotional connection that keeps us hooked. So, if you ever felt like you are falling into their world, do stick around for this video because I am about to break down why K pop has that magical hold on so many of us and how it actually really affects our hearts, our minds, our soul, and our entire life. So, I used to be very into K pop. Okay, it started when I was about 17 or 18. I had some friends back in that time when I was in my pre-university years. We had just done our GCSEs, our A levels, and we're kind of waiting for the results of university and college and things like that. So one of my friends then started being really into Korean dramas. I'm not sure how that happened, but she was very into it. And the two titles that she was very into were I think it was Delightful Girl Chun Hyang, something like that. Which I think Jae-hee and Han Chae-young starred in, and the other very popular one at the time was Gung, which was acted by I think Yoon Eun-hae and Joo Ji-hoon, and another very popular one at that time as well, Coffee Prince, which was also by Yoon Eun-hae and also by Ko Gyu. So they were very into it, and I kind of fell into that whole world together with them. And from the dramas, I we started kind of surfing the forums of different things, and last time forums were a very big thing, so we were surfing forums of like different recommendations, different shows, watching a lot of stuff on YouTube. And I remembered a I remember being really addicted to those dramas. I could watch them like for hours on end, and I would search up like random clips on YouTube and stuff like that. And that then led me to watching a lot of the variety shows back then, which I think Korean variety shows back then were really awesome. Not as much now, but they were really awesome back then. There was this really funny one called X Men, which had a lot of different singers and actors and idols, coming onto the show and then kind of like doing different games. And it was really funny, very entertaining. I was going through a little bit of a hard time at that time in my personal life. There was some family stuff. Um, and that was kind of like my little escapism. Whenever I took that 1 hour commute to my temporary job at the time before I started university, I would actually put on these shows in the bus on my phone, and I would actually watch them through. And it brought me so much happiness back then. So I was very into it. So it went into variety shows, and then I got really hooked on Dongbang Shingi, okay, DBSK. So they were a very humongous boy group at the time. There was five of them. They're from SM Entertainment, very well known, just really popular, had fans all over the world, especially in Asia. um and yeah, they really kept me through a lot of my really darker moments in my late teenage years, especially when I was navigating a lot of the school and the life stuff. I fell off for a while when I started university, and then I got back into it a couple of months later. I think it was about like 2009, and I think 2009 was like the golden year of K-pop. Okay, because so many songs, so many amazing songs, so many groups. Music shows used to be really fun. There were a lot of fun variety shows and all, and I personally think the quality back then is much better than now. But okay, I digress. I was actually really obsessed with it. I was obsessed with K-pop. I was reading forums. I was reading like things like All K-pop, Soompi. There were a lot of other like forums and websites that were actually up back then, which was actually a lot more fun. Nowadays, you kind of get it from the same few sources, and the translations are never always very correct. But you kind of get them like from many different places back then. It was really fun. So I was watching all the time. I was watching all the time after school. I would download it to my laptop. Watch it in between classes. Um, and one thing kind of led to another, because it wasn't then just watching for me or reading the news and stuff. I started kind of like getting very interested in specific idols. I can't even tell you who they are now because I cannot remember their names. I cannot remember who it was, and I changed my obsession like every couple of months. Um, but it really started me down like a spiral because I would then obsess. Like there would be this like particular idol that I saw on a variety show. I would be like really really into their looks. I'd be like, oh my god, so hot, so good looking, so cute, such an amazing personality, so funny, so witty, stuff like that. And I'll then like go and research, like really really research. I mean, I'm a researcher, so I really had those researcher tendencies back then. So I really research all their information and dive really really deep into their personal life, save all their photos, all of that. Okay, read all their interviews. Um and what then would get me really upset was whenever I read, came across rumors that someone was in like, perhaps a rumored relationship with someone else. And like, the celeb that I was into was actually in a relationship. And interestingly, that would kind of cool me off them. Okay. And what was troubling, and I didn't really know this back then, was that I was actually really limerent for or romantically obsessed with these idols or these celebs. And what I want to tell you about limerence is that it's this one-sided mental fantasy exercise that makes you very, very obsessed and very addicted to this one person. Okay, you cherry pick all the good qualities about this person and you constantly have like really intrusive thoughts about them, like every single day, every single moment. It can be so intrusive to the point that it actually affects your daily life. It didn't get that far for me, but there were some people that really, really got like, really affected. Um, and the thing is that with a lot of people don't know this, and I definitely and my friends also didn't know this at a point in time. But this very, very spiral into obsession is a romantic obsession, is a one-sided mental fantasy and sort of a love addiction from a distance with these idols, these actors, and these celebs. Okay, it's completely one-sided because these people don't even know us. Okay, we may be like we exist as a group of like a one and single entity of like a fan or fandom to them, but they don't know who we are, and we are both actually essentially strangers to one another. Okay, so limerence is a one-sided romantic obsession and addiction, in this case with a K-pop idol, okay, a stranger who doesn't actually quite know you. And the thing about so this is where I kind of really want to talk about like how people actually kind of fall into this limerence trap or start to fall into this like romantic obsession and addiction with an idol, that they aren't even really sure what is actually really going on. They think it's just like normal celebrity worship or celebrity like your liking of your idol, but it actually really can be taken to a very dark and very scary step. So I really want to talk about the lure of the idol persona and how so and the in nature of the entertainment industry as well as parasocial relationships and how people actually get so obsessed with an idol. Okay, the thing about the world of celebrity, okay, I don't want to go too deep into the K entertainment stuff and the nature of their industry and all that. There are a lot of people posting about stuff on YouTube, and well, they may have experienced the real K-pop world or the K entertainment world, but it is going to be a kind of like a really, really scratch off the surface because a lot of times many of these people who are in the industry, you don't actually hear very much from them or at all because they are not supposed to say too many things to the public. A lot of things in a job, especially a job like an entertainment industry where you're supposed to uphold a lot of like not really truthful things, or you're supposed to lie or hold up an illusion. There are a lot of NDAs that are being signed. It's just part of the job. Um, but you have to understand as well that in entertainment industry and in K entertainment, Korean entertainment, a lot of it is actually pretense. A lot of it is actually the creation of an illusion for the public. A lot of it is also smoke and mirrors, and it is the same everywhere. So every single entertainment industry will have that. That is why it's called entertainment industry. Okay, China entertainment industry, Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever it is, anything within the industry exists to actually keep up a certain sort of illusion or pretense to keep you entertained. And the media is definitely in on it as well, because it's all, they all depend on each other to keep up that illusion. So a lot of times, okay, you have actually actresses, celebrities, idols in this context, faking their images, holding up a certain personality, a certain persona, um, interacting in certain ways in public and on camera and on TV, even, playing up certain friendships, faking friendships as well, playing up certain things and certain like reactions, certain incidents, certain experiences to give you a certain vibe about them. This is all done and it's all part of the job. Okay, it's nothing personal. Okay, it's just part of their job. It's to gain fans, and to also gain a certain sort of fame and popularity, so that their work is actually pushed out there a lot more and is consumed by many other people. So there are many, many ways that a celebrity or an idol can actually play up a certain persona or have a certain persona. Okay, there are many concepts. So there's like, oh, the mysterious one, the elusive one, the visual, the intense one, the emotional one, the one that reads a lot of books, the one that is a genius song, lyric writer, the one who is like a incredibly hard worker, always in the studio, recording songs, writing songs, the one that is very, very devoted to his family. There are all sorts of concepts that the entertainment industry and publicists and agents can actually pick from. Many, many things. It depends on what persona or what image they want to actually put forward for that particular idol. And it depends as well on a lot of other factors, like what are they good at, what are they strong at, what's a certain brand they want to sell and stuff like that. So, in a lot of the interactions I see, because I see this quite a lot in Korean entertainment forums and discussions where fans are always kind of talking about, like, the interactions that certain celebs or certain idols have with other people. A lot of these interactions, I'm going to just be really blunt here. A lot of these interactions are actually planned, especially those that you see on camera and on TV. Some have been even to the point of scripted, and some have, many actually have been discussed beforehand. So a lot of these like YouTube shows where people, the celebrities turn up and they get interviewed and all that, they don't just rock up, and just appear at the studio and it's kind of like they just say whatever they want. Okay, it's not like that. You definitely have a script. They definitely have a script to work towards, and they have already discussed the episode outline, the description, the nature of the conversations, what conversations are to be had, what they would roughly talk about, and stuff like that. The nature of the scripting or the degree of scripting is really dependent, okay, and they probably, of course, won't script it to the point of like you say this particular sentence, but even that happens, okay, because it has to sound natural to some extent. But all of these is actually, I see a lot of these things, and fans always kind of assume that it's what the idol really behaves like, or what the idol really is thinking or saying. And even in a lot of the magazine interviews and stuff like that, um, a lot of it is actually decided beforehand and vetoed, or kind of ran through, by the agency to filter out certain things. So whatever you get at the end, the output, the things that you read, the things that you see, the things that you watch, is actually not the real them. It has been filtered. It has been like, carved out in a certain way, and done up in a certain way to show you a certain image. It's really nothing personal, because this is the entertainment industry for them, and at the end of the day, this is their job. Okay, it's to sell you a brand, it's to sell you an image, and to make more money for themselves as well as for their agents and for their companies. That is how the money actually works in the entertainment industry. It's also for more investment, because the more you're out there, the more you are, people actually notice you. You might actually catch the attention of a certain investor or certain producer's eye. They might cast you in a very, very big film. um, it's also to sell their dramas. Okay, so you will notice also that a lot of rom-com actors and romantic comedy actors, especially the main leads, they will act like they're very into each other, and they will allow a lot of ambiguous rumors and speculations about them to just run wild, and they don't actually say anything about that. They will act very ambiguously in public as well, so like, fans will then start talking about it, like, oh, they might be together, and like, oh, they're so cute in their behind the scenes and stuff like that. So you have a lot of these stuff, that will actually be there to promote a lot of their work. But fans, of course, usually aren't very aware of this, and you just, believe whatever you see. I mean, our human minds just work like that. So there's this illusion of perfection and accessibility, because Korean entertainment in particular, and I think to some extent other entertainment industries in the region as well, like China entertainment as well, they sell the audience a lot on the idols or the celebrities' personalities. Like, hey, this person could be like a very cool visual in their group, but a complete goofball on variety. This idol could be like, taking very, very cool, like, um, CEO type of roles, but actually they're really, really nice on variety. So a lot of them actually go on variety shows, especially if they are a little bit more, trendy or popular, or they want to be more trendy and popular. You go on variety shows so that people actually start to watch them and start to get interested in their personality and start to find out more about them. So as you fall in love with an idol, just like I did many, many times before, I think the word of caution here is to take whatever you see or watch at face value. But the thing is that our minds don't really know how to process things differently. So whatever we see, our mind actually believes it to be true. That is how you grow incredibly attached. Okay. It's very easy to form attachments to idols because there is just so much of content out there, like so much. There are all sorts of lives, there are all sorts of interviews. The companies just come out with all sorts of things, like, some groups have like games, just them playing games, and putting up on YouTube or wherever they put up their stuff on. So you get to see like a pic of their personalities, and there's so much content for you to consume that at the end of the day you watch them so much that you think that you actually really, really know them. So it's also very easy to form an emotional attachment. And another reason why this happens so much in the entertainment industry is because there is no way of verifying whatever that you see. Okay, because unless you work in the industry, and you know all those secrets, or you know these people personally, you actually don't know who they really are. You don't know who they are behind the camera. There's no way to verify anything except, of just seeing what you see of them on social media and their public appearances, and we take all these pieces of information and we assume that that's the real them. Also, a lot of things in the entertainment industry and in fandoms, it tends to occur in an echo chamber. So you tend to, of course, look for people that agree with, your assessment of a particular idol, or you tend to look for people that like the similar things that you like about a particular idol. So it's like an echo chamber where you kind of just build on each other's arguments and build on each other and agree with each other. So if I know some people can be quite upset hearing this, and the first time when I heard this as well, I was like completely in denial. But yeah, if you're upset about this, don't be, okay, because this is literally the job of the idol and the celebrity, and it's literally the nature of how the entertainment industry is run, is to create smoke and mirrors, illusions, is to sell all these fantasies to people. It's why it's called the entertainment industry, is to entertain you. But so many people cannot take or cannot really divide or understand that, they're actually being sold an illusion and a lie sometimes. And a lot of times we don't want to believe that we are being sold an illusion, because, what then does that make us? There's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on, so we just play along and just believe whatever we see. um, Another problem that I actually really want to talk about, that is present very much in the entertainment industry, especially East Asian entertainment industries like excuse me, Korean and Chinese, their celebrities' lives are very intertwined with their fans. That a lot of the time, their career moves and even, their whatever they do in their personal life, like whether they can have girlfriends or boyfriends or not, a lot of these things are actually done to please fans. Okay, because like I said, there is so much of content, the lives, the interviews, the varieties, and all that. You're so reeled in, and you just keep thinking that you actually really, really know them very well. The non-stop content is actually to keep you obsessed. It's to keep you in this parasocial relationship so that you remain um, completely, limerent and obsessed for this particular idol in this one-sided relationship where you are deeply invested in them. So you will actually go for their concerts, pay for their fan meetings, pay for everything. I mean, you're kind of like contributing to their pay, in a very huge way. um so you a lot of these things, they, because of the such of, the nature of the relationship where the fans are so intertwined and have so much of a say in idols and celebrities' lives in East Asia entertainment. A lot of the time, there's also a lot of hiding. Probably even more so because of the kind of like the obsession with the image that the entertainment industry has in general, but even more so in East Asia. So there's a lot of hiding of the truth. So, I think if you're into Korean entertainment, you'll know, like, recently, in the recent past number of years, like how many um, actors, male idols, the specific ones. I don't have the names here, but you know which ones. They have been, they have had all sorts of like really, really funny, really cool like images on their variety shows, but they are involved in all sorts of like really, really like scary scandals and like sex scandals and things like that. That is a complete 180-degree like flip from what they actually portray. Um, so you really, really don't have any idea what goes on behind the scenes, and because there's such a more intense need to be so hyper vigilant about what they actually let out to the public because of the very intertwined nature of the East Asian entertainment system as well as their fans. A lot of stuff actually gets swept under the carpet, so you don't know. A lot of them don't talk about their relationships, and you don't know if they're in relationships or not. And you just assume that they are. Okay, it's not our business, and we can just assume that they are. But a lot of fans like to dig into stuff like that, and then there are all the rumors and speculations and everything because they just don't want to confirm or disconfirm, right? Whether or deny whether the rumors are actually true or not, because they might lose fans. Hollywood's a bit different because Hollywood, their fans are not that intertwined. Like fans don't really dictate the personal lives of idols and celebrities, not so much as compared to in East Asia. So this is how the lure of the idol persona, which is completely like is an entire package, completely formed in a company, is designed to actually keep you in that parasocial relationship and keep you limerent for that idol. And really, it's just entertainment industry stuff because all entertainment industries are the same. But just remember, it's an illusion to keep you like really, really hooked into them. Um, and I also kind of want to talk about the role of fantasy and escapism, which occurs for so many of us in the Korean entertainment industry and K-pop, because a lot of people that I've met, including myself, whenever I found myself previously very, very into K-pop, I was actually escaping something from my life. Exams, family life. I would see people profess like undying love for an idol or actor, and turns out they are actually married with three kids, but they are not really very happy in their lives and in their marriages. And a lot of people as well, a lot of fans are also haven't really experienced romantic relationships themselves and are unable to for many, many reasons like low self-esteem, social anxiety, low self-worth. A lot of K-pop fans honestly suffer from some of these. So it's just safer and easier to just watch videos and fantasize about the idol because the idol is hot, right? And the idol can behave however they want to in our fantasy. But a real life relationship is scary. Facing your problems in your life is scary because you have to kind of do things to get over and get through it. So what we do, humans, we escape. And I completely understand that because I use K-pop as an escapism myself when I was going through some really hard times in my life. Um, so a lot of these, because K-pop idols are so polished and so idealized, they can serve as a fantasy outlet for fans, offering you comfort, excitement. You can project whatever fantasy you want onto them because, you don't know them as people and, they can't react to you in real time. It feels exciting to imagine, how people are interested in you and stuff like that. So it's really just a form of fantasy and escapism at the end of the day because it's a real distraction from your current life actually. And a lot of us actually spend a lot of time going through all these celebrity stuff and idol material, instead of working or like bettering our lives. And I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. I also want to talk about the dopamine and the addiction to fandom. Okay. Dopamine, okay, is a neurotransmitter chemical found in the brain and is very responsible for forming, addictive behaviors around K-pop idols and content, okay, and even in social media use, okay, dopamine is there because every time you as a fan interact with content, you watch a video, you attend a concert, your idol, smiles or your idol looks very hot when they're dancing, it creates a dopamine rush. It's similar to how limerence actually feeds off intermittent reinforcement. So Dopamine is like a pleasure center, and whenever it's released into your brain, it makes you feel so good that you want more and more and more of it. Okay, and you go look for more. So whenever you see like content of your idol, you get a dopamine rush and you go look for more. So that's how it keeps you, addicted and keeps you in that cycle. So anytime you see like a small reward, like attention from an idol, maybe in a concert you think an idol looks your way, it creates a very strong emotional response and attachment in you. So for all these things, I also want to really talk about how to keep it, at the end of the day, healthy and fun, such that you don't, go down, the way of romantic addiction and fantasy and limerence, and where, you start to kind of drift away from your own life. Um, have a limit on how much you actually consume. Okay, consume K-pop in a healthy, balanced way. Keep the interest light. You can attend concerts, love their songs, you can watch, stuff, but always keep at the back of the mind that whatever you see and whatever that you read is not actually really them. Okay, you just read it for fun, know that it's for fun, remember it's for entertainment. But spending things like spending time on forums, fighting with other fans on forums, spending time reading too much of, gossip stuff like on all K-pop and Soompi forums and stuff like that, analyzing their pictures, their every move, reading too much into who they may be dating or not, whether they are straight or not, it's actually a waste of your time in your life. Okay, remember that you don't know these people. They are strangers. They don't know you. They can't really care about you either because they don't know you. Yeah, some of them, might appreciate their fans. They might really, really love you. Some of them are there probably just for the fame and the popularity and the ego stroke. Some of them just want their bills to be paid, and they entered the entertainment industry to do that. But, and a lot of them might appreciate you as part of the fan base. I mean, you help them pay their bills. But they may not be like, oh, you and one and only you, like you, I love you, Sonia. They are not, they don't know you. Okay, so they can't possibly love you. So start setting those boundaries around how you actually consume your K-pop content. Get off social media, engage more in the real world, because social media is like a bubble that keeps you trapped in the K-pop stuff, in K-pop world, because a lot of stuff in K-pop actually happens on social media. So get off Instagram, get off TikTok, stop watching those stuff. Get more into the real world. Go meet your friends, go read a book. Okay, books are very underrated these days. Go watch a movie or something. Just stop scrolling. And remember that your celebs, always keep that at the back of your mind. It's just a job for them. Okay, they are there to work in the entertainment industry. They are there to do a job. They want to go home and they have their own lives at the end of the day. And another one that I want to leave you with is to focus on yourself. When you find yourself obsessing about them, it's time to switch attention. Switch attention back to yourself. Switch attention back to something that you have to do. Switch attention to something that you want to eat. Something that you actually really have been looking forward to. Maybe you want to, start achieving a goal. How can you start on that goal instead of spending time scrolling, or K-pop or whatever? Okay, it's really, really fun to have a sense of belonging to a fandom or as something to look forward to, like music releases and stuff. But remember to keep it grounded and keep it sane, and don't let it eat into your life. Because while being a fan can be really fun and really fulfilling, like really, okay, I'm pretty sure you know how it feels. It's important to also realize that there are psychological patterns and behaviors that can actually really lead you to obsession, and these can actually creep up on you very slowly without you actually realizing it. Okay, so I have already spent too much time talking. So if you have anything else to say about your own experiences being obsessed with K-pop and wanting to get out of it, do leave your comments about your experiences down below. And if you need any help actually getting out of your situation, I actually have a book that I'll leave down in the description box below as well. It's called How to Break Up with Limerence and Romantic Obsession. I also have one-on-one psychotherapy and coaching sessions available. Do get in touch to let me know like what you want to work through. Just remember that K-pop absolutely is enjoyable as with any music or any media content, but remember to actually consume it responsibly and consume it in a boundaried manner that keeps you connected with your own life. Remember your own sense of purpose. Remember that you are here to do things with your life and not just have your entire life revolve around another person. Get out social media, do fun stuff, in real life. And remember, it's just a job for these idols. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If it's helpful for someone that is suffering from something like this as well, please forward it on to them. It might help them as well. And this was really enjoyable to talk about, and I perhaps might do a longer video in future. But for now, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video.